This is the One Piece Podcast, episode 875 for the week of Sunday, July 6th, 2025. My name is Zach, and I always do this on the first time. We also have a very special guest translator for One Piece and Weekly Shonen Jump and Weekly Shonen Jump and Manga Plus. I've only been doing this for how long? We have Stephen Paul with us. How's it going, Stephen?
Yo, here I am. Got my little buddy here with me too.
Oh, hi, Simba.
Yeah.
Wait, I could finally use this that I totally had the whole time.
Oh, very nice. I like that.
Yes. We also have he's a lazy river kind of guy, storyboard artist, a lot more. We got Mike Patton.
Hey, hello. My little friend is just off screen taking a nap. My cat. My cat. Yeah.
And we also have our anime recap host, who I did not know was coming on until just before, so I don't have anything funny prepared. We have Sam Leach with us. How's it going, Sam?
Sayonara.
Wait, I don't think that means what you think that, unless we are doing a kind of fun thing that we haven't done in a while, and that is a live show. So if you want to watch us, which is a rare opportunity, I would say, you can at youtube.com/One Piece Podcast. Please subscribe if you haven't. Full length episodes go out every week, but usually without our faces, this time with them. So we apologize. We have a lot of fun stuff to talk about today. And we're also going to be taking the audience's questions and comments and theories live. So please start sending those in right away. We will get to them. Before we do, we should probably talk about some of the amazing, crazy stuff that has happened this week. So
that no one here was present for.
That no one here was present for. We're the best people to do it. Delaney called us the dads
because they're too busy having fun.
Yeah.
Delaney called us the dads podcast, so we could all try and explain it as if we're a dad explaining what their kid did for the weekend. So add the in front of things and S where that doesn't belong. Yeah, okay, I'll leave room for my dad joke to land. Okay. And the first thing I think was the Dodgers game, which looked insane. Jill was supposed to be here, so we could pretend that we were there. Does anyone have thoughts on all that craziness?
It looked like a lot of fun. I guess I didn't realize that they were giving out straw hats, so that it was literally just a sea of, people wearing Luffy hats, which was pretty wild.
It was.
The animation that they showed at the game looked pretty cool.
Yeah, what was it? They had like some in between, or not. It wasn't even in between innings, right? It was like it was like the pump you up, like make some noise. Animations. Yeah, they had some some Luffy animations there, and they had a drone show after the
that
the
looked
game.
Awesome. Yeah.
I don't think I saw the full thing of that.
Toy posted like a good chunk of what they showed, like obviously not in real time, but it was like a 2-minute clip. And I am very pro drone show. I'm not pro drone, but I am pro drone show over fireworks. At least,
as an alternative to fireworks, it's interesting.
And as pet
it's
owners,
pretty cool what they can do with it.
Yeah,
right. It's crazy.
It is. It's really nuts. I'm like consistently impressed when I see videos of it, because I don't know if I've seen one in person. Maybe. I don't know.
It's a very like uncanny valley thing to see, right? Because they move so like seamlessly. Yeah.
Steven, how does Simba do with fireworks?
Like he'll do the thing. He'll do the like. What was that? And then he's just like fine. The only time I've ever seen Simba freaked out was we did have an earthquake. Even though I live in Southern California, I live in an area where we don't really get as many earthquakes. Like we're not right on the fault or anything like that. And we had one that really did shake the place, and he did kind of bolt and run around for a couple seconds. But other than that, he's generally pretty chill.
Mm-hmm.
And I know
bark or anything, so
why not? I know friends of the show, and by friends I mean co-hosts and contributors. We have Steve Yurko, who I don't think ever got his card. I'm gonna let him
His
tell
Luffy
the card
card.
when
Yeah.
he's back.
Yeah.
Not our story to tell.
It isn't. We can't even pretend to, other than he's very sad and inconsolable, really, I assume, to this day, even though it was like 3 days ago. He's, I believe, sitting in the corner of his booth crying. I don't have proof of that, but I think that's a good supposition.
He probably misses his old classes.
Okay. And Jill was there, as we mentioned, and Kirsten, our reporter at OnePiecePodcast.com, writes a lot of our articles, is going to be writing up something for that. So
Nice.
cool photos and videos that came out of that. So keep an eye out there. If you're also wondering, where is everyone? Besides us, who are the people that matter, let's be honest. Anime Expo is also happening this weekend. I don't think there was any huge One Piece news coming out of that.
No.
There's
other news, but not One Piece.
Was there any news that you cared about?
My wife was very excited that the Detective Conan anime got it's being redubbed, or at least partially redubbed, and they actually changed the license. It is no longer going to be known as Case Closed. It's going to be called Detective Conan.
Wow.
And, so they put up a batch of episodes on Netflix, I think, and so we were watching that this weekend. That was pretty cool.
That's a big deal. And Conan O'Brien, is the guy with the podcast, is not gonna sue them. That's
yeah.
Someone should bring that to his attention.
Yeah, they figured something out, I'm sure.
Yeah. No, I'm sure Conan doesn't actually give two craps about that. He visited the town. I know he did a I'm sure.
Segment there.
I mean, he had righteous indignation, but I'm sure he doesn't actually care. Sam, was there? Did you follow anything that came out? Do you have any opinions about things?
I mean, like I do think it's crazy seeing the footage of the Dodgers game. Like, I can't imagine being in like that big of a crowd where they're like blasting like we are and whatnot.
Yeah. I thank you actually for reminding me about that. I know we're going backward now, but every time I see something like that, I just remember 2009 me and us, and how insane it is to see literally a stadium full of Straw Hats. It's really cool. It's humbling.
So,
is that the word?
So they did basketball, they did baseball, they had a football day, but what was there anything in that? Like, I don't remember hearing about animation on those.
No. The football thing was just like the USC marching band at halftime.
Okay, gotcha.
That's true. I forgot about that.
We haven't really sports world. Yeah, we haven't really broken into the football market yet, but
that's how you know it's really like hit it
in the United States.
Yeah, in the US. Yeah,
but there was the German soccer team. I apologize to our international listeners. But that, I think, did have like a big One Piece promotion, right? I forget the name of the team. It starts with a B.
And Dortmund Borussia.
Yeah, I would have said something completely incorrect.
The ball kickers.
Yes, that's what we call them.
Yes.
I didn't remember their name, but I always called them the ball kickers. Speaking of suing, Mike, anything that came out of AX that like caught your attention?
Oh, I did not pay attention to AX at all.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's being an East Coaster. I like that.
Yeah.
I saw the one. I'll say one thing since we're kind of loose and impromptu in this episode. That the creator of Full Metal Alchemist Arakawa's newest manga is going to be an anime. I saw that. I am excited for. I know nothing about that manga, but I do want to read it. At the very least, it'll give me an excuse to read it.
Yeah, it's a little different. It's it's like modern day set in Japan, and there's a lot of like yakuza and like scary looking dudes with scars in it. So I think she is really excited to be working on it, but it's not going to be quite like Full Metal Alchemist 2 or anything.
I don't think she would have that goal.
No, personally. Probably not. No. but just for people's expectations, it is a bit of a change up from what people know her for.
As big of a change up as a Silver Spoon.
I was gonna say
Not quite as much as that, but
so it's like got like the full bones treatment, the studio, and like
apparently.
it looks it's gonna probably look great. And I'm just upset Silver Spoon never got that treatment. But I haven't actually seen the anime. Oh no, I've seen 1 or 2 episodes of the anime. I've read some of the manga, but it's a very charming show.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If for anyone who hasn't checked that out. We talked a little bit about it. Was there any other things happening this weekend as far as you guys know? Because go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, it was a good thing that they decided to schedule the One Piece Day at Dodger Stadium on the day that they did. I know, like Kirsten was saying, like, oh yeah, it's the Chicago team that sucks. So, their chances are good because like the next day they played a different team and they lost by like the largest margin that they've ever lost at Dodger Stadium.
My God.
It was like 18-1 or something like that.
Wow.
So yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
they played the
looked
White
good.
Sox.
I was gonna say that's a gamble though, because you got the Pope pulling.
Oh
for
yeah,
them.
they have holy
Yeah.
power now. Yeah,
Mhm.
but not that day. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, we all thought the Knicks had holy power with the the college connection, and that didn't work out.
Well, I'm looking at our numbers, and no one is listening anymore because we are talking about sports. Um,
Well, the Pope is joining the Knicks next season, so it's going to be a good.
okay, that I
team.
would watch. Is that what the
Yeah.
new? What? No, it's the young Pope, and now it's the basketball Pope.
They should cross
Hmm.
over.
I was letting that silence land.
Put Panda Bear on there too.
Okay. So the other big news is I know Joey from our show was very excited about this, and that was the promo for One Piece Volume 112, which is out now.
Yes. Yeah, it came out on the 3rd. This is good. The 3rd or the 4th, I think. I'm not going to get my copy until Tuesday, I think. So it should be arriving for me pretty soon, but I don't have a copy of the volume yet.
Yeah, we were hoping to do that recap for everyone, but it's a little too soon here, I think.
Not to cut you off on this, but there's a question in the chat that's really caught my eye, and they're asking, when are you going to have the Pope on?
Oh, well, of course that caught your eye, but I am Jewish, so I'm sure that'll go over well.
New
I
Pope is
don't think he
American.
cares.
We have an in.
He's a Chicago
True.
guy.
I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, Ed probably knows him.
Yeah, that's true. Ed probably knows him. That's how that works. The whole
Probably
city
ran
of
into him when I
Chicago
was,
knows each other.
living in Chicago.
You probably did. You probably went to like the same bar as him or something, right? That's what popes do.
You went to my school.
I feel like the Pope and Brodsky would probably hang out.
Oh my God, absolutely. If there's anyone in the city of New York, city of Chicago. Okay, I'm gonna stop this sentence right here. Yeah, so volume 112. How did we get onto the Pope? Oh wait, Mike.
Sorry.
The Pope endorses volume 112 strongly. I think that's fair to say. He hasn't said anything negative about it, so we have to assume he endorses it. Mike or Sam, I don't know if you've had a chance to talk about at least the cover, which
Yeah, I spoke about the
Sam-
cover on the last episode.
Yes.
okay. Mike, did you?
I love it. I just think it's really cute. I love the composition. I love the way Luffy's arms are leading you around everybody. I think it's a beautiful cover.
Yeah.
All right. So I think with that out of the way, I want to get into a little bit now that we've got Mike's opinion out of the way.
I appreciate it.
Oh, Mike, while we're
What's up?
actually before we get into a little bit of podcast news, I want to get into what's going on behind you. I think for the listeners out
Well,
there,
I had
they
to pull.
should know.
I had to pull over. The animation industry is not doing well, so I've been working as a bus driver for a little bit, and currently I am taking this group of Lucy's to the I Love Lucy convention. But little do they know, I have some ulterior motives. I'm gonna stop in Silver Springs and win a bunch of money. But it's a race.
And that
Is this
joke, I'm
like-
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, is this like the Timothy Chalamet competition? Like, is the Rio Lucy somewhere in that bunch?
Yes, but I'll never tell you which one. It could also be me. I could have been Lucy this whole time.
Yeah.
I've always thought that.
Check it out.
So we have some.
And I'll mute
We have
myself.
some. Good. No, I'm kidding. We have some One Piece podcast news, and I want to give a huge thanks to Steve and Vero in particular for putting in a lot of work behind the scenes to get this ready. So, drum roll, someone, that we're announcing a new Patreon feature, and that is the monthly sticker crew. That's what I'm calling it. So you could join the monthly sticker crew. We are giving out for those who donate to a new tier that we're going to be setting up this coming week, or either this week or next week. It will be at $12, so only $2 more than our $10 tier. You get this sticker that you see on the screen, which for those who aren't watching is the one of Loki next to the 1000 Sunny. You could get that sticker if you join right away, and we'll also be voting monthly. I think this is what Vero does on their Patreon as well. We'll be voting monthly on the monthly sticker that you will get as a patron at $12. It's again only $2 more than our current $10 tier.
And these are all from the podcast images, is that correct?
Yeah, so these are all going to be based off of podcast images. I don't know if they'll I don't think they'll exclusively be like that month's podcast images, but you guys will all get to vote on them. And if this does well, hopefully in the future we could also expand to postcards or something else. So, you know, if you want more of this kind of thing, please let us know. A few other points that I was supposed to mention. Let's see. Oh, yeah. So as part of this, we are removing the $25 tier. This is going to be a $12 tier. It launches officially probably sometime either this month or early next month. Again, you'll get to vote on what the art will be, and we'll be making a more detailed post about it on our website, and we'll definitely be talking a lot more on the show about it. So I have to ask all of you, is there a podcast image you want stuck to you? If you had to put one podcast image on your forehead for an entire day, which would it be?
You needed to give us like the wall of images.
Oh, I can.
Is this only One Piece podcast stuff?
Yeah. Including stuff
okay.
you've done, Mike.
Hey now.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do Steve holding up all of his amiibos.
Naked Cowboy Odin.
Wow, that was quick. You had that ready, and it was old. It's from a long time ago.
Probably Lazy River Jinbei.
That's a real nice one.
You mean this one right here?
I like I love that one.
Yeah. That one I have handy. The rest I have to fish out of something. I mean, I could try and get it up, but anyone else? Any other?
As the titular Lazy River guy, it speaks to me.
Well, it's literally you, except Jinbei.
Yeah.
Literally Jinbei.
Yeah.
Did you all give an answer? What would I put on my forehead for a day? That's a good question. Not the one with not the Odin with the hot dog thing.
Do the HR one. That was a funny one.
I was gonna say no way. I was the one that always comes to mind is the one with Emmett that he actually did make a sticker for, and I have somewhere.
Yeah.
Around here.
Oh, you know
but yeah,
what?
there's a lot of good ones.
One that I did, Cunty Flam, I think would be.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that'll stick on my forehead.
Pardon my French. I meant to say Clinty Flam.
Yeah, how dare you? So very excited about that. I think we could do. Let's see if this works. Oh, nice.
What about
we could see the comments there on the side. That'll
my
also get
pebbles
cut
would
off.
be incredible. Yeah.
What about the shaggy transponder snail? That one is that's a sticker worthy design.
Here, I could do this the old-fashioned way and just pull this up and screen share. Let's see if this actually works. Window, this one.
Yeah, we're all learning something about Restream today.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
Oh,
okay.
there we go.
I mean, there's this week's. I know how Restream works.
Let's just scroll the website together.
Yeah, look at these. Look at all these fun ones.
Yowie
the Yowie
Paddle.
Paddle. I mean, obviously the Ms. Piggy.
Yeah,
Piggy Moo.
Triforks is just a good image.
Yeah, it's a little too cool for my forehead.
Mhm.
Oh, the
Society.
Cool uncool. It's always good.
cool uncool. Yeah, Society. I don't know. I'm not cool enough for that one either. Obviously,
Yeah, but,
Bird and
Jared
Ernie
Leto
one.
Joker had a tattoo on his forehead, so like that's you know,
Did he now?
Yeah, this new one should
It's
just
good
have
tattoo
society
real estate.
tattooed on his head.
You know, the one with the Jimbei firefighter plane
You like
would
that
do the
one?
best in this house with
Jimbei is cool.
oh yeah.
yeah. Jimbei is always cool too.
Firefighters.
The drunk Usopp, the drunk Scalper
Margarita.
Gabon,
Man, what was
the
going on
drunk,
Yeah, you guys
what,
are
not enough
thirsty.
drunk dudes? Yeah.
February into March.
The Homestar Runner.
That
go.
that is
Shannon.
That
an
is one of my
all-timer.
favorites, especially since Steve knows nothing about it. It's pretty unbelievable.
I did do a lot of yelling at my podcast when I was listening to that one.
I mean, the Luffy, any Luffy is always adorable.
Oh man.
The Hamtaro,
Sanji.
there's the Clinty Flam.
Yeah.
The Hamtaro one we did
That
last
one was really
year.
good.
My
Is that
God.
Joey's Alf?
That is Joey's Alf. That feels like eons ago, and yet was still in
The
Elbaph.
Lego.
Well, those are all of the Elbaphian ones. They're all the way in Egghead now.
Yeah. Now
Um,
we're going back.
Yeah, I mean, the one that Sam did was
Vegapunk
what
J. Sherman.
about there's
I
you,
would have
Mike? We
to.
could just do
Hey,
that on
hi,
video.
hello.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
The Kaku and Law and Jamiroquai one is
That's
Wow.
also a
You
good one.
you can get a statue.
That's a great-
Oh my god, a statue. You can get a sticker of.
I'm pretty sure
Jamiroquai,
Josh
yeah.
has this one. The sword ace from
yeah.
episode 812 of our show.
Yeah, we had a fun time with that one.
Actually, this would probably be if I had to get one tattooed.
It's a good one.
I wouldn't actually
that
ever
one.
do this, but it is a nice one. The one, the Gyuki Saturn, because he's awful,
Steve.
but it would look cool.
Steve went off on that one. That's
He
crazy.
did. I was very happy he did that. Okay, I think we've delved deep enough that we're in the
Indulged enough.
Simpsons references. So yeah, let's start taking questions and all that. I know we had some from last week, right? That we could actually start with. Do we have any on subreddit, Steven?
That's a good question.
Yeah. And we'll also, of course, answer questions that are brought to us here on the stream.
Okay.
And-
We got 2 from last week and 1 from this week.
And I'll say once we get through the questions, I also have trivia for these 3. It'll be no holds barred. It'll be really rough. No one will make it. It'll be better than the last season of Squid Game, which apparently is out.
Man. Zach, get their ass.
I'm here to do that. One Piece starts sometime in the future. Steven, go
That's
ahead.
right. We're rivals now with Squid Game.
That's true.
All right. Well, let's
That's it.
let's start here. This was from last week from Amiibo Hunter 000, who says, "I don't know if anyone has finished season 3 of Squid Game, but
Are you serious?
I'm curious. I'm just reading it. Without saying any more, I couldn't help but think of the last episode of season 3 when reading this chapter. Estrid sucks, and I am more and more on Team Loki joining with the more we learn about him. Oh boy. So yeah, I don't as someone who has not seen any episodes of Squid Game, I can only imagine how Estrid sucks has to do with season 3 of Squid Game.
I'm just getting that now.
Yeah.
That is actually there's a lot of that week I feel like had a lot of sacrificial babies. Which isn't giving anything away.
Okay.
But it might be giving some stuff away.
The comment continues. I posed this question to Steve and Greg, but they ran out of time, so I wanted to ask you all too. Do you think the revolutionaries got their style from Sabo, or is it just a coincidence he got picked up by a group of people who also wear top hats and goggles? Keep up the amazing podcast. Thanks.
That's actually one of my least favorite things about Sabo is that he came pre-dressed for the revolutionaries.
You're not into the
Victorian child.
No,
we don't know.
No,
that.
that's
It might be
fine.
a little bit of both.
Oliver Twist steampunk.
Yeah, but the
Steampunk,
revolutionaries showed up first in the story wearing that. Then we had
Boy,
Sabo.
look at this fancy boy. Let's take him in.
Were they wearing? I guess like when on
Yeah.
like
I thought we
Probably.
didn't really see all of that until we got all of the like.
You know what?
I guess
We're
like
gonna
I guess
do-
the guy in Tequila Wolf had like a top hat, didn't he?
Yeah, we always thought that was secretly Sabo because we we
right.
thought everyone was secretly Sabo back then.
Right.
Yeah.
It is a little iffy that that part of their design. I like the characters though. I like the character designs for all of the.
I mean, at the time, for all we knew, that was just like one guy who wore a hat.
Mhm.
It wasn't necessarily a theme.
It was like back
Yeah, I
when
guess a
Bonnie
lot of
was
them do wear
everyone's
that.
mom. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just thinking. I was going through my mental like library of revolutionaries. There are a good amount of top hats. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's definitely a thing. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's a coincidence. Sabo was just lucky that that's who he wound up with. 23 Years Virgin says, hey, OPP, looking at Loki's origin is a bit of Norse mythology, and I was talking to my wife about it, and she came up with the topic that Estrid had postpartum stress, a topic that hasn't been talked about in a certain way in One Piece, and that made me think of a question. What theme would be missing in the story of One Piece? For me, a unilateral Genghis Khan type domination would be missing, maybe with Imu as the founder of the world government, or Luffy to overthrow the government. Cheers and keep up the good work. I'm not sure how is that missing from the story of One Piece.
That we need a Genghis Khan in One Piece. Isn't that Blackbeard kind of?
Right. I was thinking like
No.
I don't know. Kaido's kind of got the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
He's definitely got the.
He's a
aesthetic,
warmonger.
too.
He's a big
Yeah.
brute,
He's got a
Yeah.
Drogo look.
Yeah.
hanging around
Also,
and getting drunk.
2/3 of the world is related to him. Or
To
whatever.
Kaido.
that
Yeah,
That's
we don't know. You know,
That's-
there could be some twists there.
I don't know. It sounds like Scopper Gabon would fit that part of it.
Kaido is everyone's mom.
I've always said that.
Yeah. You do always be
Yeah.
saying that. Yeah.
I do always be saying that. I'll write
Yeah.
that down. Steven, any more?
All right, let's go. Those are from last week. This one is from today, also from Amiibo Hunter. Hey OPP, congrats to Alex for the birth of his child, another co-host for the OPP sequel. I'm sure you heard about the insane news about scalpers surrounding the Luffy and Dodgers TCG card at the game. It made me reflect on the growing influence of One Piece in the West. With the recent Dodgers collab event and other sports-related crossovers with One Piece, what are your opinions on One Piece becoming more mainstream in things like sports and events like the Vegas Sphere? Do you appreciate the growing popularity, or do you think you may become fatigued with the increasing level of One Piece in mainstream culture? Excited to catch the show live. Keep up the awesome work. All right, we're taking it back. By popular demand, we're back in the sports zone.
Hey, that's a touchdown. All right. Let's see.
There is sort
it
of a chicken and egg with like One Piece's popularity and like this
card
recent
game.
push of like like they're putting money into promoting it as if it's massively popular. Like this is their like like it feels like Otis trying to make the final gambit on worldwide popularity.
With the card game specifically, or
just like
just
the live
promotional?
action, the overseas crossover promotions like the Dodgers and like the
I do think even though it took many years, probably more years than we thought for the show to actually come out and come to fruition, I do feel like that was part of the idea at the time, was like, this is a bit of a Hail Mary to see if we can get something huge, get a giant ball rolling here. And I mean, I have to say, I think it's successful. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what more you could do with it that that hasn't been done so far.
It's a world of difference from 10 years ago, obviously.
Yeah.
Not to make a joke of it, but like One Piece, the live action series is for the moms, and it's like bringing in a ton of people that otherwise would never have touched it. So I'm all for people getting into it.
Jill was mentioning how at the game her mom was just going around telling people like who weren't into One Piece to watch it on Netflix.
It's mom.
It is.
It is. It really is. It's like insane. I really need to show it to my wife.
I watched it with my mom, and we'll watch season 2. Like I'm happy for that.
There you go.
Yeah, Delaney's mom. We're gonna have a mom cast. This is the dad cast, I guess. Kind of. Well, cat dads.
We got one dad. Yeah.
You guys are cat dads.
One uncle.
I am kind of curious as to like how big the card game is kind of independently of this, because it does feel like, I feel like every time I hear about the card games, like particularly in the last year or so, like that the Pokemon card game that they're doing now is like insanely popular. My little sister and her boyfriend are like really into it. And the Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy thing, people are like super duper into that. I'm not sure if it's just this weird like, like the maturation of the trading card, population. Like people will just buy, they'll spend more and more money, and so like they're worth more and more as like a collectible asset or a tradable asset sort of thing. I don't know. It just feels like it's a big business now.
Yeah, I have a decent amount of exposure to the card game side of things. I'm very shocked at the number of people who play the card game and like are unfamiliar with the actual manga or anime.
Wow.
Like there definitely are people who are in it because they like the game and they like the meta and they like like there's sort of a pocket community of people who focus primarily on the card game over everything else. So like that definitely exists.
Nice.
Sports expert.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Card games are sports.
That's yes.
That's true.
Yes, they are. Stephen, any other questions on subreddit?
That was subreddit.
I almost forgot. We still have Disc Piece, which I could.
Yes.
Should I do, or do you guys? Does someone want to? I'm fine doing it.
I just did it, so.
Yeah, you're done, Stephen.
I'm in the clear.
You're in the clear. First one comes from Mike P.
Hey, who could that be?
Straw Hats excluded. Who from the series do you want coming to your summer barbecue? What do you hope they bring? Follow up. Straw Hats included. Who from the series do you hope never finds out about your summer barbecue? What do you hope they never bring? Two very good questions. I like these. Oof.
So this is the barbecue, like dream blunt rotation and nightmare blunt rotation, basically. Okay.
Yeah. Good. Sure.
Dang. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I mean, I guess Jinbei just goes without saying, right? But Frankie.
Yeah, Straw Hats excluded.
Oh, excluded. Okay. All right. So not Frankie then. Damn. Who would be good? Man.
Who had barbecue time back in
who ate the barbecue fruit?
Who had barbecue time back in a piece? Is the question.
I
Whoever
would
did that.
probably ask Apu and Uta to come to bring some good music.
Good music's important, but I think the food is
Okay.
crucial. Zeph is always a good choice, I think. A
Zeph
little
is very
ornery. I'm trying to think of the best cooks besides Sanji in One Piece.
Yeah.
So I want a good cook at my barbecue, personally.
It's funny because like all of the party scenes that we get, it's like they're all such Straw Hat centric. So like I don't have an image of like these characters are down to hang.
I mean, the giants, if they weren't giant, would be great.
I think
they all seem cool.
I think Baby 5 would do a great fireworks show.
Maybe too good. I think
That is
things
a-
will be exploded.
I think maybe this is only partial credit, but like if you invited just the Frankie family, like all those folks, they would be cool. They're down to party.
they would also
for
steal
sure.
your stuff.
I like those
probably.
guys. Yeah,
They
probably.
weren't they literally thieves? And also, do you
For a
want
little
Sodom
bit.
and Gomorrah coming? I don't think you do. I guess they don't have to come.
Get rides, you know.
This
at
should
the
be
lake or
easier.
wherever you're-
Yeah. I think Alves on the chat also said iceberg. I don't know why that popped into my head too, unless I was thinking of the lettuce. But even that, I don't really know. I think Zeph is the first thing that or really most of the Baratier, I think, would be a lot of fun. The rest of whom, you know. Next question. Oh, I'm sorry. Which Straw Hat
There's a
don't we want to
follow-up.
come? Yeah,
There's
Luffy.
Wait, with Straw Hat?
Yeah.
Well,
it says
no.
included.
You can include them in there, but this is still an overall like.
I think
Okay.
Luffy is still a very clear.
not
Well, I guess
want?
he'd be fun, but he would.
Who's the
eat all
big?
your food.
Who's the mud guy that you love?
Caribou?
Treble.
Yeah. Either of
Caribou
those
and
guys.
Treble?
Yeah,
not
they're both
invited.
Treble's
mud
mucus.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Treble's a mucus guy. Yeah. Mucus
Yeah,
at a
they're both
barbecue, not.
no go. The Tentata who was a bee, no bees at the cookout.
What was her name again?
Beyond was the.
Oh, you knew it. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I remembered it.
You know,
there's
who
a
should
there's a Tentata that I would invite, and I forget their name, but they share a birthday with Ed and I.
Flapper?
It's probably Flapper. Yeah.
It might be
Flapper.
Flapper.
Can't
Yeah.
forget about Flapper.
Well, they're invited.
This is a 13-year runner right now for us. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, don't let King Baum go though, because I don't think wood at a barbecue is.
Smoked hickory.
Yeah. Ooh. Actually,
He's
maybe
bringing the-
we
he's
should
bringing the
invite King
flavor,
Baum.
yeah.
Maybe we should. Is he hickory? Do we know what kind of tree King Baum
Why
is?
not? Why can't he be hickory?
Well, what is Baum even? Is that something I should know?
That's just German for tree.
Oh, so tree,
Mhm.
king, whatever the Simpsons thing. Next is from SNP, who says, not a question, just want to say it's nice to finally see the Rakugo story that inspired Shinjiri, the maid loving plates in Akane Banashi this week. I did notice that as
Yeah.
well. Is
I
there
guess, yeah.
actually, is that real?
It's I don't know. I mean, I don't know for sure if that's what Oda explicitly based it on, but I mean, he does a lot of Rakugo references, so I would not be surprised if that's where he got the idea. But yeah, the concept of like the maid who counted plates and then was like tormented because of it, or you know, she died. Spoilers for this week's Akane Banashi in the story, but yeah, that's pretty. It seems pretty close to what we got in Thriller Bark. So
It's not even really spoilers because it's just the Rakugo story that she tells, but
Yeah.
it's cool. It was like a very cool retelling of that. That Akane Banashi, I think we've sung the praises of a lot. Not for nothing here and having nothing to do with anything. Mike did gracefully remind me that we are raising money for the Trevor Project tonight and all month.
Hey.
Which is our go-to charitable organization. They do great work, important work. So please donate if you can. Just go to our YouTube channel and click the donate button. And I'll keep that info here below. Actually, also, I forgot that I even made this whole thing. If you want to subscribe, if you have a lot of money,
God, all the bells and whistles.
yeah, you could subscribe to us on Patreon, and we're like Killingham there, I think, right? Wait, no, I don't want to be that. I just remembered that I made that, and I didn't get to use that earlier. Okay, more questions. Straw Hat Rigby says, "Hey OPP, many of the One Piece podcast gang have made it very clear their disdain of the word Nakama, in the sense of how a lot of Western fans interpret it. The example being, it's a word that can be defined because of how special it is. So how does everyone feel about the way Nakama has become an official marketing tool in the live action series? I'm going to say also in the anime and manga, I feel like recently. Well, the anime, not the manga.
This is like exclusively like just a thing that people do on social media posts, right? As far as like
It was on the back of a
promotional-
DVD. It's in the copy of a DVD release.
okay.
It is. And the
That was like
Ennis
Ennis Lobby. That was a long time ago.
It was a while ago.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's relatively harmless there. It just does. It feels very silly to like use it as a promotional tool when like it does not appear in the series in any official capacity. Like it's because it's like, oh, people only know that because of scanlations or fan subs or whatever. Like that those are the only people who were holding the torch for that term. And so to see it used in, there's a certain irony there, I guess I would say. But I don't, not that I think any of the social media managers necessarily are aware of that.
Yeah, I feel like the one thing I realized, having done this for as long as we've been doing this, is that things go in and out of style, and like the things you grew up with aren't the things that the generation that is currently, for the most part, enjoying. Like Nakama was a big thing, I think, when that generation of fans was like really coming back to the series in the mid, what do you call the last decade? Teens.
2010s, yeah.
2010s. Oh, that's a mouthful. Yeah, I think like mid that decade was like really when it hit a point, and it was like a little more annoying for us because it's like, it's not annoying that the fans are using it. It was annoying how it originated. I think that's the part that has generally like irked us more. I don't know, irk is even too strong a word because it's not that important. I actually really do generally like that our community, the One Piece community, can have its own vernacular, and that there is like I understand why social media accounts use it, because it's like a word you could just throw and it immediately, to a group of One Piece fans, it'll spur a whole bunch of emotions and memory.
It's the in-group signifier, right?
Yeah, but as I said, that's going to just become less and less relevant as time goes on, because that percentage of the fan base is going to dwindle over time, just because that's how time works.
Right.
And so I think we already, I know it is in the official marketing, but that's just because the marketing managers at Netflix and Toei are of that generation.
Right.
It's not the people reading it. Like Gen Z, I doubt have any connection to the fact that it was part of a fan sub in like 2004, where they just refused to translate the word crew or friends directly and decided it was a word that was above all, which it's not. That's the part of it that annoys me, though, that these random people just did this and it kind of caught on, and like Date Bio or whatever the other ones are.
Nice.
I was thinking about this recently because
believe it indeed.
Like I was having to like explain to like a friend recently about like why like I am in the habit of saying like gear second, but like in other contexts saying like gear 5.
Yeah.
or fourth
It's because
gear, third gear.
how you, I think, as a fan, initially digest the series. I mean, with Steven, I'm assuming you initially read it in Japanese, right?
Yeah.
Because yeah. So like, but as a foreign reader, at least, the way you initially ingest the series very much shapes how I think what you view to be like the way to blank. Like, I will say, and this is totally not the case anymore. There are definitely some Japanese words that, like the untranslated ones from scanlations and from fan subs, that are still out there, like Gorosei and Yonko, and what are some of the other ones that there's...
Shichibukai.
No, I don't hear those two as much, I feel like.
Well,
Although there's
they're
that...
also dead, so there's no more.
They are,
warlords,
yeah. Maybe that's why I'm not hearing Shishibukai anymore. But there's definitely some of them that I just don't hear anymore. Again, maybe because they no longer exist. I mean, I think the community generally has been doing less of that, I want to say, but maybe I'm just not as in touch with that segment of folks.
I think it's,
I think the Green Bolt conversation, like, actually like forced a splinter to happen there.
Yeah,
I mean,
like that.
I mean, as Steven, I'm sure you could attest to, some of the choices are just like personal creative choices. I mean, and some of them are just wrong on the end of scanlators. I want to put words in
or
that.
Dogtooth or something like that.
Oh, right. The katakuri thing. I forgot about that.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of it is it sort of works on the same principle as the like, I don't know what you would call this, but like, you know, when people study like where people walk, like through, like if you design your parking lot and people are walking through the bushes over something because it's the path of least resistance, sometimes like that's just what it is. It's just like, oh, well, actually Green Bull is way easier to say than Ryokugyu in audio format.
I could say that's true.
If you type it, you know, who cares? But like, you know, when you're talking about it out loud, yeah, some people are just gonna revert to whatever is easiest for them. And so in that sense, like there's a certain catches, and in that sense, like I get like Nakama, it's like it's a short word, it's memorable, it's easy to say. So I can see why it's, you know, it hasn't really died out necessarily over the years because you know, it's not an inconvenient term, and so in certain respects, although, you know, Shichibukai is a real mouthful, but yeah, it's not. I don't think that there's a lot of like logical consistency to it. I do think it does come down to just like habits and what is easiest for people.
It's like an interesting study in how we digest media generally.
Yeah,
I feel like
for
One
sure,
Piece,
for sure.
and since it's been going on for
it's so long that
30
there's a lot
years
of
almost. Yeah,
body of work to study there.
like, yeah, I wonder. I mean, like Greg is a really good example, and you, since you've been literally reading since like the 90s.
Yeah.
And like there are definitely, like, I think Anel is like a really good example of something that it was popular before the Funimation and after the Funimation, but there's like a group of fans like me and Steve in the middle who call him Eneru. It's like and so like when I see something like that, I'm like, okay, that's not like a scanlating thing. That's just like
it's just a preference.
You're 35 years old.
It's just I'm 30, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's say 35, sure.
Reverse eye patch is using brings up another example, the Neko, Mamushi, and Inuarashi.
Yeah.
And those two, along with NL, are like the one area where, you know, the card game again, for example, uses those ones instead of like the Viz styled ones or the Funimation styled names.
Right.
Well, we got Killingham, and that's what's important, right, Stephen?
That is true.
It eats Greg alive every day. I think he, like, I don't know if he's able to exist thinking about that, but I'm fine with it, and that's what's important. Okay, we have more. And then we're gonna, after we do this piece, we'll do some from the chat, so please keep sending them in. Next one. do I have to answer this? I do, because they're on this piece, don't I? The Slayer King says, what's the FMK, the better way of saying that these days? Smash or pass? Is that what they're called?
That's
That's
worse.
worse?
Yeah.
Okay. Pretend I didn't say it. Perospero, Satori, and Wanze. And if that's too hard, Satori, Hotori, and Kotori.
Oh, nothing is hard.
Thank you. That's
What's the
these
the
are
first one
both
again?
for Sam specifically.
Wait, what?
Perospero, Satori, and Wanze. Or
I am not
easy.
associated with
Just
any of
for
these
me.
characters.
By the way, that's actually true.
F Perospero, easy. F Perospero, marry Wanze and kill Satori.
I mean, at least Wanze can cook for you.
Wanze's
He's
cook,
cooking out of his nostrils.
You know, to go back into the chat, Reverse Eye Patch said earlier, canonically, I don't think Wanze's ramen tastes bad. Hope he has ear, nose, and throat doc to keep his working
But,
area
like,
sanitary, which I
It
agree
can't
with.
be
I'm sure it
sanitary.
would taste fine.
It's the inside of his
You don't know
body.
that.
Yeah, it's just the knowledge. Like I think I agree. I bet it doesn't actually taste different than regular ramen.
That's not my
But
point. That's
you're
not
eating
my
it with the
point.
knowledge. You're eating it with the knowledge that it was through his nose.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. It probably tastes good as hell, but the knowledge of you knowing that it comes from his nose just takes it down a couple.
You know, I'm
pegs.
gonna say,
Just baseline
don't
good.
quote me on this, and I mean that literally. Perospero to marry, I think, because then you could walk on water and much easier to travel when you're on candy for some reason.
I'm gonna
tongue.
point out too that, like, regardless of what you choose, you can kill all three of them. You know.
Oh, that's
you can get
true.
divorced,
That's true.
too.
Thank
Yeah.
you for explaining how
Yeah.
murder works to us.
Just
You
look on the bright side, Zach.
It's always a bright side with fictional characters. Satori has like no redeeming qualities, but also besides the voice, like doesn't really have any qualities of interest at all. So I guess I would kill Wanze in this.
Got balls.
That's true. So there's that. Next question.
You do
Did
be
anyone?
balancing.
Oh, Satori, Hotori, Kotori. I mean, that I'm not even touching.
Who
Because
cares?
they're literally the same person, basically. That was so annoying. It's like, okay, we got rid of the annoying one, and now there's two more of the annoying one. It's like when you cut those. What is it?
Hydra.
Yeah, sure, the Hydra. Let's go with that. The Hydra of Satoris. Someone draw that image. Don't actually do that.
They're such the wrong shape for that.
Next one, S&P says, related to the question about volume 112 changes last week, which we talked about and we'll get to, specifically about Gunko and the Man-Mayer family. Shamrock's introduction box used to have the name Figureland Shamrock, but now it's Figureland Family - Shamrock. I think it's another of Oda's misdirection to have people think that Gunko belongs to the Man-Mayer, but is not actually named Man-Mayer Gunko. Wow, that is a mouthful. So it doesn't change anything, like how Gunko and Brook met each other. What do you think about that?
This just sounds even more confusing.
That is, you made it more confusing. I will
Yeah.
say it makes it more likely, I guess, is what the listener is saying, that what was I saying? That Gunko is not like a direct blood relative of that family, but may have been fostered into it, but makes no also makes no sense for other reasons.
Like would
That's
you get
also
that
weird, yeah.
box if you just like worked for that family, or
No. Nothing specifically not the Celestial Dragons.
Right.
Since
Oh
they're
yeah,
so
you know them. They're
exclusive.
very welcoming. They
Yeah. It's a big tent over there.
It's a big they just love bringing everyone in. The lastest piece comes from Reverse, and you could keep submitting these on our Discord if you were a Patreon subscriber for $5 or more. Hey OPP, 4 white guys are perfect for saying which Straw Hats are invited to the cookout. Brooke and Usopp are black, so obviously they're invited. And I think Chopper and Jinbei are at least minority coded. Okay. Is the whole Chopper is a reindeer?
Is-
Sorry. Is the whole gang in, or are we going to have to deal with jokes about Zoro being racist? No.
Oh, boy.
I don't know about any of that. Okay.
Yeah.
I have to read those. That's contractually obligated.
Yeah.
I don't read them ahead of time, but I read them.
I mean, I think the community has spoken about Zoro as far as the memes go, so I don't know if we can give him a pass.
I don't think we could give Zoro a pass about anything.
He wouldn't be able to find it anyway.
You give him the invite, so that's the one place he
Yeah.
never ends up.
That's true. That
Yeah.
is a smart idea if you don't want Zoro to be the cranky uncle. He'll come with a bag and it's someone's head in it if it's the live action.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Okay, let's look through questions from the chat. I should probably start earlier on. Did any of you guys see one that here? I'll start with this one. What do you all think about new characters joining the crew? This is from the Geek Goblin. I feel like the biggest weakness post time skip is that there are too many characters to juggle in the narrative. Any thoughts?
I 100% agree. That is like
See, I like that we get these like temporary crew members, like
I like
the
that too.
actual,
like
yeah,
Lilith.
like who's on board and like who's like a
Law.
effectively
Yeah.
part of the crew for an arc or two.
Kinemo.
It's kind of like
The
there's
thing
an
about
ebb and flow, and then
Sorry, Zach.
they get to come back together.
No,
Sorry,
I just
Zach.
said I was
I
just
was
saying
talking over you
Law,
for a second.
Carrot, Yamato.
But it's also hard to imagine them like officially ingratiating any like new proper members into the crew without it like almost feeling like now we got too
Joke.
many main characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like when people like come on the ship for an extended period, like especially people like Kinemon and them, because then they get the status of like no matter where you are, you will be a part of our crew. And it's also like that's why the Grand Fleet is there. So you could have people riding on them for a while, and then it's like, all right, well, your time on the ship is done. Go start your own and be a part of us.
Yeah, we're past the point where you can introduce a new crew member and then we get to like spend a long time with them as a member of the crew.
Yeah.
So like anybody who joins now is going to benefit from the fact that Oda doesn't have to like write them in every subplot for every arc moving forward.
Yeah, you see,
which I think means I think you should go crazy with it. I think you should overpay on the crew members joining at the last arc or something.
You know, you're not wrong. Like at this point, why not? Except that as we noted in our sticker, you know, one of them might not be able to fit on the boat.
Yeah.
Okay, so a couple weeks ago in our Discord, I brought up how I think that Loki could work. Can I say my thoughts on that?
I guess.
Can I give you my thoughts on that?
Yeah.
All right. Let me give you some thoughts here. I just think like if he's too big to join, so if the Elbaph library burns down, can't they relocate that to the Sunny and take the owl with them so that the ship is like always big enough for it?
Ooh.
And then you can
No.
have Loki on the ship.
No, because it's only inorganic objects.
Has anybody had
No, but the ship. It would make the ship big.
Has anybody had a shrink fruit?
Ship's not
yet?
organic.
Like, is anybody able to make themselves small or make somebody else small?
But
I feel like you, if you're gonna have a giant on the crew, you gotta go all in with the gimmick and just have them be too big, like San Juan Wolf.
Yeah.
yeah,
Capone,
I guess
kinda
San
has
Juan Wolf.
shrinking powers.
Yeah, I think San
he
Juan Wolf
can
is
shrink
the
people
best.
inside of himself, I guess. So if Beige fuses with the Sunny,
Here's a question.
If like Frankie can like build the Sunny into Capone or something.
So wait, do we know how tall Loki is? He is 6,700.
I think.
What? Go ahead.
Is he supposed to be like Aura sized?
I think he's 6. Well, I'm wondering how big he is compared to San Juan Wolf. Can he just like walk on the ocean floor and carry them? Like, are we at that point? 67
so.
meters. If this is true,
Because remember,
which
I mean, they have to be a real shallow because You know, if you remember Zunisha,
Yeah, because Zunisha, yeah.
Zunisha has legs that are like 10 times the length of its torso. So
Oh no! San Juan Wolf is more than twice the size, believe it or not, of
there you
Loki.
go.
And he does have a
I-
gigantification power. Like,
Yes,
so
he
I don't
has
know,
power.
But he can make himself
Yeah.
big, but he can't make himself small.
but he can maybe make other people big. So they
See, what if Loki eats the small fruit, and we got the small giant versus the big giant?
What an
What if-
interesting
yeah,
way
what
to
if
put
Loki
that.
already
What if he ate?
a
Yeah, what if
fruit?
he ate the
Is
fruit,
that-
but it just made him so he was like 5 feet tall? That would be really good. Just like
sorry.
a really inconveniently weirdly sized.
What was the original question? Anyway, legitimately don't remember. Oh yeah, who about joining the crew? That's what it was. Yeah, I kind of agree with I think Mike who said it, like or Sam, I'm sorry. Like at this point, why not? You know, does it really make a difference? But I do agree that the main issue with the story these days is that Oda has too many ideas.
The last 10 chapters should just be adding a new crew member each chapter, so there's 20.
Let's sure.
Human fruit model manlet.
Chat really likes this topic. We activated them.
Human fruit little guy. He eats the little man fruit.
Someone asked if we're doing a Yaoi Thunderdome. No, I don't have that ability. Ice Fisher Tenacity about Kobe's home kingdom. Satsuruzo. See, that's why I just say Green Ball.
Is this
would
another?
its name be like Samuwani, which is the name of Ida's island? Or would it get a special interpretation like Full of Lead? Would you call it the Go Fish or Castelline Kingdom? I am so confused.
Is
but
this
maybe
like the
Steven.
question the other day that was like, if it was like Roger and Rayleigh they all had different names. It was, do you remember this? It was like the disc piece question.
Yeah. Mm.
It was like, did they call him Gaban instead of Gavan, and Silvers instead of Savish or something?
Oh yeah, and the Scopper thing.
Yeah.
I think I remember you talking about that. Yeah,
I don't. Maybe that's like a volume 112 SBS thing, which I have not seen. I don't really seek out the info until I get the book to see for myself. So.
No, this might have been just about that. I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
maybe it was a Viv card info about
where
Kobe's
hometown.
Because I don't remember seeing that. So
I mean, it also might have just been a minor detail in something, and you just don't remember it, like in volume 2. You know. No, actually, Stephen.
No, I would have known.
Yeah, that's true. I was not made aware. Has Zach learned from Yaoi Thunderdome to add those types of questions to trivia, says Gabe Ruiz? No. For the last time, no. Why do I keep reading these? Let's see what else we got. Hi guys, I have a question for you guys on the podcast. It's from Tim Johnson. When are you going to bring back the anime recap segment? Hey, Sam, what are you doing then? And when are you going to bring back the Toonami recap segment? To answer the second one, they're in the middle of Dressrosa, so never.
Was that a sincere question about the anime recap?
I don't know, but if it is, Sam, would you like to tell people about it?
It's going. We do doubles sometimes, just depending on scheduling. But
yeah,
I needed time to sip water, and you're just like,
I try to do it every week when I can.
Yeah.
It's a little complicated because usually Sam's recording partner is going to be someone who's already recording the episode, and so like timing wise, it's sort of like, okay, we got to coordinate to do it right after the main show, and sometimes it's a little.
And Sam's schedule generally is the reverse of everyone else's.
And the next like 2-3 weeks, it might be hard to squeeze in there, but we'll do what we can.
Yeah. I could try guilting Sam, but I don't think that's going to work because Sam usually does that to me more.
I don't feel it.
No, he feels no guilt. Famously. OP. Okay, OPP and Elbaph, who do you think dies, Gabon or Ripley? Why do one of those have to? Oda loves the parents must die trope.
We're not in a flashback though, so the rules are different.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, not Gabon or Ripley, but we have at least 2 moms in the most recent chapter, so.
We're gonna confirm your dead dad.
He's gonna do triple duty in the flashback to spare the Giants.
Yeah,
you got to kill a couple.
You can't just kill a mom and a dad. Yeah. You gotta kill a mom and dad and another mom.
These are Giants.
I guess
we're
that's
talking about.
I guess that's what a lot of flashbacks are already. Like Law watches his mom and dad die, and then he gets taken in for a mentor for like 8 episodes, and then that mentor dies.
And he dies. Yeah.
What a life.
What a life. Okay, let's see. From Andrew Dillon 24, Loki being directly asked by Luffy to join does feel a bit different from Yamato and Carrot and the such. No, I guess it's more of a comment on what we were talking about.
Yeah,
that's my fault.
Did Luffy ever ask Yamato and Carrot? Is that the distinction?
Well, Yamato
no,
just said that he was joining.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and that came kind of as a surprise. I feel like, if I remember.
Yeah,
and then Luffy just kind of gave like a blanket invitation to like all to Yamato, Kinemon, and Momonosuke.
Yeah. Carrot is just like, well,
yeah,
thank you.
Carrot was bestowed.
Carrot they barely touched on.
Go home.
She's got
you're needed.
now.
So Saeed explains about the Kobe's Kingdom thing, that it was during a Viv Rush card, so you were right.
Okay.
And that this is the pun in Japanese.
Satsuruzo, which means come on, let's fish or let's go fishing. Okay. Interesting.
And Loki's mom.
Yeah, let me look in that case because I got what's this? It's this right here.
Loki was the cursed boy.
I don't know.
Just one of many Viva card. Let's see. I get through all the straw hats. Jesus, there's a lot of these.
By the way, the trivia we will be playing later, I could reveal, Viv Rush.
Oh,
wow.
Nice. I was reminded too. I forget if I mentioned this, but a couple of years back we had all the books, like the 500 quiz books or whatever.
Oh yeah, I still have it somewhere.
Yeah, and we never did a segment on the 3rd one that I think Greg didn't have anything to do with.
We had segments on them that I don't remember.
We had like we used at least one of them as a for the call-in show where
oh yeah, you're right. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a very long time ago. Let's see. Okay, I don't see anything there. Kobe 3, Kobe. Oh yeah. Okay, here it is. The 3rd Kobe card has he's from the East Blue Satsuruzo Okoku. So yeah, I guess that could be go fishing. I'm not sure what that has to do with him personally, but there you go.
Maybe because he was no.
Oh, that's right. He was going fishing when he
is that when
lost and wandered on Alvida's ship by mistake.
That's Kobe's most famous personality trait.
Yes.
How could we forget?
Okay.
Let me
go.
Yeah. Well, we got that solved.
I just got a message that said my microphone got knocked off. Did that actually happen?
You're real hot.
Yeah, now you're super
bummer.
hot. Yeah.
All right, let me fix that.
You're hot. Your mic too. Let's see. Okay, I think we have one more disc piece that again I'm forced to read. Big Mike says, I don't like this question either, but again, contractually obligated.
Right.
And I read this one ahead of time, so this is my fault for that reason. Big Mike says, would you rather get happiness punched by Nami and be in debt, or get what what's the specific move that Robin uses against Frankie when he's not wearing his pants?
Oh, the clutch. I
Clutch,
think.
yeah.
Is it just clutch? Okay. I thought by Robin, like when she tried to get Frankie to join the crew. But do you not go into debt if that happens then? Because that would be probably my choice.
Does she pay you?
No.
Yeah,
No, you're,
like,
paying,
you
you're
get-
paying for something like that.
Yeah.
But do you have to
Yeah.
go into
It's a
debt?
different. It's a
I
different.
don't
kind
want
of
No.
debt. Yeah.
Debt
I
is
mean, in
like
that case, I think Robin's the one for you.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on how much money you have, Zach.
Yeah, that's really this question's more of like a income inequality issue. I
Yeah.
think we've got into the
Yeah.
bottom
I
of
mean,
that.
I not to reveal too much of my personal finances, but I'll go where Nami's thinks.
Whoa, Steven. Doing well. Okay. Not. I don't know how much she charges. To be fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd go with
What the heck
Robin's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You and me, Mike. Let's go to Blue Sky Pia, which is questions from Blue Sky. And we'll still take questions from the chat, so please keep sending those in. We have one from J. Murray Eel, who says, what do you guys think about Loki having some kind of animation paramecia, since Loki's laugh Doga can translate to video, motion, or animation? I'm imagining Loki and Luffy doing the Duck Amuck style attacks on Emu and the Knights. That I do like.
that's a JJK power.
Steven says no.
I'm just letting. Nobody's going to comment, so I'm just going to say I'm shaking my head continuously.
Next one comes from Ice Fisher Tenacity.
Well, hold on. I think the only thing that would make me believe anything like that is even possible is how Loki does believe that he is Joy Boy. You know, if that is what it's pointing to, like he believes that he's that figure, then maybe there's some credence to it. But I don't. I'll mute myself again.
For the record, me and Greg were both in agreement that Doga is like Dogan. It's like the sound of thunder, a thunderclap, because he does seem to have, well, I don't know. He's got some kind of like lightning adjacent power, or his hammer does at least, right? So that's where I think, and it's not Dogahaha. It's Dogahaha, and Doga has an extended O. So I think that's just people reaching.
That's what we're here for.
I am.
I do like the idea of his laugh sounding like a VCR.
Wow. What onomatopoeia? What onomatopoeia would you use for VCR, Mike?
It could be like the maki
go
maki fruit, which would be like winding.
Yeah, like a wine, like the
Ooh.
tape noise. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm sad we haven't seen that yet. As far as I know.
Yeah. The closest we've had is pudding.
These are, by the way, from the last episode, but we didn't have time this week. We have lots of time. Ice Fisher Tenacity had a question last week, or a comment. Now knowing that when Loki's first reached out his hands, his mother was not there and he fell, how would you feel if later on in this battle against the world government, Loki was flung over the edge of the sun world and barely managed to stay on by hanging onto a small branch, but the branch begins to break before Loki can pull himself up. It snaps and he falls again. But just as he's about to plummet, Hyruden and or Ida grabs Loki's outstretched arm, saving him. Oh, Ida now. But Ida's not his mom. But
No.
we don't know their relationship yet.
Yeah.
She
That
could
feels
be
like
the mom
that feels like a Luffy moment. Like if
Yes.
Luffy's
yeah.
big Gear 5 hand come down and grab
Oh
him.
yeah. I like the brotherly angle though. That's cool too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd
I
be
feel like the flaw of this is that I don't know. Maybe I just haven't processed like the scale right, but it does feel like, I mean, if Loki fell once already as a baby, like I feel like he's going to be just fine as a grown adult.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. Yeah, that's true.
He's gonna kill an even bigger bear.
No, my bear. That's what he'll say. Next one comes from DK.
But what if the fight escalates to like a sky island and then we do it?
Yeah, well,
Yeah, it'd be sweet.
Kind of.
Well, we haven't seen the astral world, and the longer we
Yeah.
don't see that, the more I have conspiracy theories about
Yeah, what if
it.
Loki falls from the moon?
That would
it'd be
hurt.
sweet.
He'd kill a really big bear.
Yeah.
It's really the bear sizes that change the further
I-
up you go.
Yeah, I would only be into that if like he fell and like right before he's gonna hit the ground, it's like you see like Kaido is climbing up out of the hole that his body left, and then like Loki lands on him and they go back down, and like that would be good.
Or Loki falls into like the big hole left by the mother flame or something.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. DK Toy Chest says, think we're setting up for Loki and Hyruden to swap positions. Hyruden becomes king of Elbaph and Loki becomes leader of the new giant pirates. Since Hyruden wants all giants united and Loki's hero is Rocks and Luffy asked him to join the crew. So Loki being in the Grand Fleet makes sense to me. I actually 100% agree with this.
I mean, he's not. He wouldn't just like take over Hyruden's crew though.
That seems a little weird.
No, I don't think he would take over Hyruden's crew. True, but I do think Loki being like
Hyruden being
pirate
king,
Yeah.
and Loki going off and Loki being a pirate. He
like basically.
Yeah.
I get.
Maybe.
Yeah.
maybe he joins the Straw Hat crew.
Well, also this all depends. Like, I don't know how much we talk about, but what happens after Luffy's the Pirate King? You know, like what kind of world is it going to look like? He's not governing, obviously. Unless anarchy.
Obviously, he's going to be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Sam. Okay. That's it for Blue.
And then Loki and Hyruden will work together to push all the islands back into place.
Okay.
Wherever they were supposed to be.
All right. Let's see if we have any more questions. Please continue to send them in. We're going to do trivia in a minute, though. First, again, Ice Fisher Tenacity on a roll today. In regard to the anime English dub, let's see if any of us could address this. How do you feel about Keith David being the voice of Rocks and Sean Schimmel being Joy Boy? We don't know anything about Rocks, so I have no opinion on that.
He has like a really deep voice in like the one line you hear in the anime.
Was it like an unaltered line, or did they do like a?
So there's that bit where it's like I think it's like Kaido's memory and like Rocks is just like a silhouette and he like mysteriously has like a straw hat. He's like, we're setting sail or whatever. He has like a very bizarre voice in the anime.
Okay.
I mean, there doesn't also need to be consistency and even
that could be just like a placeholder voice like I assume Emu is.
Emu's is
you'd have to be really pedantic to be like this new voice when the character finally gets introduced. It doesn't match that 2 seconds that we heard 15 years
Well, you know what? The internet
the-
definitely won't be pedantic.
I mean, they've gone back and forth with like Young Dragon and Old Dragon's voice a lot lately.
Yeah.
Sorry, but this amazing Keith David voice is different.
Well, Keith David, we need to find a spot for him somewhere.
Absolutely. Love Keith David.
He would have been like an awesome Kaido.
I think he'd be awesome as
yeah.
a lot of Elbaph characters. So, I mean, you know, oh no, we don't quite know enough about Harold, but I could see that. Like of upcoming characters that have not yet been cast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dragon Rage Lee says, "What are your favorite One Piece color spreads?" This is a very loaded question, but I guess that comes off the top of your head here.
This is reminding me that I have to flip my calendar.
I just flipped mine this morning.
What's my favorite one?
Mine is probably the train in the
of course it is. Yeah,
we did a really nice Domance version of that.
You did,
if you ever want to see it, yeah.
You should send that to me, Mike. I'll put it on here.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
The wallpaper, like the color spread I've used as a wallpaper a lot, so I guess I'm gravitating towards is like Like it's like a very green one, and they're like almost like mangrove trees, and it's being lit up by like fireflies or something.
Ooh, that's nice. I think a real
I like that
classic one is the one where they're walking through the jungle and like Robin is kind of standing in the little rays of light coming down. That's a real kind of iconic one. There's a lot of like really good sort of like I don't know, themed one, like the Lego style ones. There was one that was like sort of Animal Crossing inspired.
That's a very good one. I'll say, well, first of all, it's loading, Mike, but we'll get yours up in a sec.
Oh, sure.
Oh wait, there it is. This is the one Mike did.
Check out Doman's
Beautiful.
Dawn. I do the podcast art for it.
It's beautiful.
It is excellent. It is
Yeah,
very much
that's
excellent.
a very good image. A very good image to start from too.
The itchy,
You're right.
scratchy.
Yeah.
It's all excellent. Yeah.
This one's maybe like 3 years old at this point.
Okay. What was I gonna say? My favorites. Anyone with Luffy in a suit. I'm a sucker for that. Oh, hey, Greg is there. Steven, you're gonna have to read his comments though. I know Japanese. What are you talking about?
He's impressed
I
by
see
our
Hige.
beard ratio. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of other like. There's so many good color spreads. It's a really hard. Oh, the favorite I know, just to rep Steve at least. I think one of his favorites, and I agree, is the Fishman. It was not like it was after Fishman Island, but they were under the ocean at like the bar with the cool lighting.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
one
it's
is
a good
very
one.
nice.
It's a really nice one.
My God, there are a ton. I have to say, one of my favorites, I don't think is even technically a color spread. It's like they kind of take a riff on it. But there are two, I think. There's one of the crew kind of walking into the distance, like that they do in We Go, I know. And then there's also the one of Luffy holding that big giant thing of meat in the cool pirate suit, and that I like a lot too. There's a lot of good choices. No, not that one, but yes, that's a good one too, Steven. Tiger in the Jungle. Yes, is that the one with Robin and Luffy, Greg? Also, Greg, if you want to come on, you can, but I assume you're at work or something. That's a cat. But I do appreciate that. Do we have more questions or any other color spreads? Because this we could talk about all day. I know. I'm trying to remember the tiger. I think that's the one I'm thinking of, the Tiger in the Jungle one, because that is probably in my top 3. Okay. Let's play some games. Now that we have Greg here, we'll all feel like the idiot. We're gonna play everyone's favorite card game, Viv Rush. For those who don't know, I believe they're based off of the Viv cards. Do we have any backstory to this card game? They haven't released any new one, right? I don't think. I don't actually know how to play correctly either. But you know. No one. Okay.
No.
So this is how we're gonna play the game. Let me find a good example here to show you how it's going to work. Where's Luffy? Because that would be easy, because I'm not gonna actually ask you about Luffy. Okay, whatever. Here's Shirahoshi, for example. I can't read Japanese, so I'm gonna be reading the stats here in English that I could, or the numbers that I could actually read. So that
has
includes
to read them in mirror image.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry about that. Apparently I've been mirrored. So that'll be the height, the age. Oh, I'm sorry, the volume or chapter that they appear first, and the age. The first to 5 wins. And please, everyone in the audience, feel free. Do not look this up yourselves, but you could feel free to give hints to your favorite participants if you'd like. But don't cheat. Hints would be anyway. Let me just get out my height converter because I don't know meters and centimeters and all that. Centimeter to
A centimeter is a 100th of a meter.
Thank you. Thank you.
Centimeter is Vegapunk's assistant.
Every time Sam talks, that caption's going up now. Okay, feet. I need feet and sorry, this is the part we usually cut out. Okay. Is this gonna work? Okay. Oh wait, do we have something? The address listed. Oh, the how to. Greg is answering how to contact Oda, but that's a secret, obviously. Even though it's listed in every single volume. Okay, so let's shuffle these cards here.
Wow.
Was that good, Foley?
That was some Foley, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, gonna split the deck. Here is our first card. Who wants to go first? Anyone? Bite the bullet, otherwise I'm gonna choose.
Might as well.
Oh, Sam. I guess you do have more guilt, but you're also a sports expert, so that's what's important. Okay.
Go.
This character was introduced in chapter 24. He is 207 centimeters, which, as I mentioned, I don't know how tall that is. 207 is 6'10", just about.
Introduced chapter 24.
Yes.
So that would have to be.
Do you want more information, or you want to stop? You know, I could just do one.
Well,
and you get a point.
What's the next?
One,
what's the next?
No, I'll read all
20
of them.
questions.
35 years old. I'm not gonna. I'll tell you the bounty if you need help. But I'm gonna. The bounty.
See, but we've learned that's my cheat.
I know you're very good at bounties.
Chapter 24. So that's got to be.
Oh my God, Simba yawning.
Volume 3.
Yeah, that's great.
That's a good yawn.
6'5", you said?
No, 6'10".
6'10".
6'10".
Not
Like
that
me.
means anything.
Yeah.
And he's
You're 6'10"?
35.
In One Piece, that's a regular drink of water.
But like East Blue, in East Blue, you're not that tall without somebody commenting on it. Oh, that's.
Anyone here going to give in the
guess.
chat could give Sam although they're going to be delayed by some amount of seconds, which I'm sure you all could see. Since now people are commenting on Simba as we sit here, and that was like how many seconds ago? So you'll probably get a good 30-second. That's why it's going to be hard to cheat at this.
I might
Is there
need
a
the bounty.
clock program on here? Okay, so I'll give 2 points if you could get it without the bounty in the future, and 1 point. I believe this is 1.6 or 16 million. It's 16 million. That's 16 million, right? I get confused because of the
Yes.
So yeah, there's the stats. You can see them here.
Yeah, I'm reading it in reverse, but yeah.
Pretend you didn't see the Japanese name, I assume, at the top.
Kuro?
I didn't.
Did you? Did you see the name, or you're guessing that?
I'm guessing.
That's the answer.
He's 6'10".
Damn, he's tall.
That's nice. I would have guessed. I would have been guessing like Moji or Kabaji or one of those guys. But
Yeah,
it was that early.
Yeah. Okay, next one. Mike. Sam,
I'll
good
do
job.
Oh my God,
man.
he's tall. Jeez.
Yeah, we all learn. How tall was he in the live action? He was a pretty tall guy. What's his name? Who we interviewed and is fantastic.
I'm just imagining like people being like super sticklers for like the actor has to be the same height as the character.
So
you're just pulling NBA players.
the nationality.
I'm gonna do the same thing for everyone, by the way. If you want the bounty, I could give it to you. But remember, some of these characters don't have bounties because they're everyone, and Marines included. And this was pre-Cross Guild, so we don't have that.
See, without the bounty, I would have been like, "There's no way Kuro is 6'10".
By the way, I think this is all as of like Whole Cake Island is when this came out, or end of Whole Cake Island. This is probably like at least like a
Yeah,
6-year-old.
couple-
Yeah,
a
so
couple years old.
I agree with you, by the way, Sam. He has like 5'8" energy.
Exactly.
he does, and I say that as someone who's
Nothing
5'8".
against anyone under 6 foot, of course. It's just
Hey,
yeah.
I take that personally.
I said nothing against it.
I still take it personally because when you say no offense to something, that means that there is offense that is given.
Hey, that's how
Okay.
you choose to take it.
So, Mike, this is what I'm giving you. This person was introduced in chapter 805. They are 5'3", and they are 15 years old.
5'3", 15 years old. Chapter 800. What the heck?
805.
805.
I know who this is.
Yeah. Oh wait, I have to change the caption. Everyone's gonna think you're Sam Leach.
No, I'm Mike. Yeah, there you go. Lazy river kind of guy. Can you tell me what like part of the story that is? I'm not.
No,
Okay.
no, that's part of the game. Is you kind of have to know.
15 years old.
Well, okay. Do you know what your volume 80 or around?
I'm thinking
volume
of
80
it.
looks like?
I'm thinking.
Because that's I was okay. Volume 80
I-
is the only thing I'll give you, but I'm not giving
Volume
you
80.
story,
Hmm.
because that's on the card. See volume.
Oh, yeah.
Did that help you?
No, but I'm seeing someone say carrot in the chat, so I'm gonna say carrot.
Okay. You know what? This is what I'm going to do. You get half a point if you use a hint from the chat. I feel like is fair. And a hint, that's just the correct answer. Thank you. Andrew Dillon. Also, you get half a point.
Thank you, Andrew Dillon.
Actually, Andrew Dillon gets the full point.
What do I? Well, give me like a third of the point.
There she is. There's your girl. She's 15
For
years
reading
old,
the
Sam.
chat.
Oh, yeah, how tall? Wait, how tall was she?
5'3". I
So
thought she
give
was
me
taller than that.
5.3% of the point.
What is it? Out of 100-foot person? Like what is what?
Well, it's One
He's,
Piece.
he's got he gets 0.053 points.
Okay,
Yeah.
Steven.
I'll take it.
Mike, I'm giving you half a point. Steven.
All right.
This person was introduced in chapter 2.
Okay.
They are, do some math here. 6'6". They are 27 years old. Who is it?
Is that Alvida?
Wow, you are quick at this.
I mean, I was
There
like,
she
it's gonna be it's either Kobe or Alvida. I didn't know Alvida was that tall. She's
See, I believe
Yeah,
that
I
more
didn't
than
either.
Kuro, though.
I do. She definitely exudes not 5'8"
tall.
energy.
She has tall energy. Okay. I see.
By the way, not asking this for the next question, but
No.
Who is that?
introduce chapter 1. 19 years
Yeah.
old.
Flip the image and then I'll be able to tell.
Okay.
I'm just gonna keep harping on
Ha,
this.
ha, ha. As if I could control. Wait, I could control that. I just choose not
Yeah.
to. Okay. This one, we're back to Steven got that. Steven got 2 points for that because no bounty.
That's right.
Sam, back on you. Chapter 234, this person was introduced. 666 centimeters, which is tall.
Number of the devil.
21 feet 10 inches.
What chapter?
Devil's Sight.
234.
Devil's chapter.
And 72 years old.
Is this Monsieur Whitebeard?
Without the Monsieur part, yeah.
Is this Edward Newgate, though?
Yeah, yes, that is the
They call
official
him-
translation.
Did they call him Monsieur? Was it Barba Papa or something?
Sorry.
In
Again,
France.
Probably.
Yeah, that was Sam Leach, by the way, for those who forgot. Mike Patton, and
5 billion.
terrible with these.
64 million?
46. Wow.
Damn
You have a problem, Sam. A
I
problem.
got the. No. I could have done better. I could have had.
Mm. Okay, Mike. Good luck with this one. Introduce chapter 651. at a height of 7'7", 27 years old. Wow, I didn't know that. Who is this?
By
By the way, this was Whitebeard, so everyone knows the
oh
picture
yeah,
that they chose. I don't know if you've seen this
he
picture
does look
anywhere.
like that.
I don't know if this picture has been shown anywhere, but there it is.
Can you give me the height one more time?
Yes, 7'7" ish.
What chapter was it?
651. That's volume 66.
Oh, but I don't know. Caesar Clown.
No.
Give me one
anyone
more.
else?
What-
You
what-
get
what-
the bounty. The bounty. The bounty. I think this is 330 million. They do it in like the writing. There's the stats.
And what's
for
the
those
what's
looking.
the
Yeah,
introduced 66? It's not Caesar.
651.
It is not Caesar. Introduce volume 66.
The chat
So
says caribou. Is
that's-
it caribou?
No, it's
No? Okay.
It's not always
that-
caribou, guys.
Is that Kinemon?
No, this is the toughest one, obviously, so far.
Is it in Punk Hazard though?
No,
Oh, is it Hody Jones?
no.
Okay, that was
No.
my other guess.
Wait, 66. Oh,
I'm-
Peckham's.
Yeah,
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
you know, Sam, half a point. Half a point for that. Okay. That was Mike. We are back to Steven here.
I fade into the Lucy's.
That is so
Yeah,
threatening.
He's doing the Homer. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next character introduced, chapter 583. This is for Steven, by the way.
583,
Stands at
okay.
a grand 6'2", 6'1.5", and 22 years old. Who is this?
583.
83. Do you need
This
the
is
volume
gonna
number?
be-
I
this
mean,
is
it's
gonna
usually easy
be-
to.
This can be one of like Hody's boners. What was the? So you said the height was around 5'7" or something like
It's like
that.
6'2". He's
6'2", just about
6'2".
6'1.5". It's like the person 5'11 and a half.
Man, I mean, 583 is definitely in the start. Is that in the start, or is that before? No, that's before. That's in the flashback. Is it to Dawn?
Mm-mm.
Damn.
Since someone in the chat has gotten it already, once again, Andrew Dillon got it. It
Oh.
is Sabo.
Oh,
Yeah,
Adult
You
Sabo.
might have forgotten,
Sabo.
but Sabo is the
Child.
one. Sabo is the one with the steampunk outfit.
I was gonna ask, how tall is Sabo
little-
with and without the hat?
Yeah, that's a trick. That's actually kind of a trick question.
It is
because
tricky because of
it
that.
is his it's his adult size, but he is not an adult when you see him in that.
Ooh, that's a
Mhm.
good
yeah,
point,
because the
too.
card only mentions when they're introduced. So if they're introduced as a like Luffy, if you said chapter 1, but he's 19, so and so.
So I'm gonna give Andrew Dillon has 2, or I'm sorry, 1.5. What Sam? What is his bounty?
Is it like 552,
No. What are you?
652, something like that?
And you call yourself a One Piece fan?
I don't know.
Get out of here. 620 million. That's not
Sabo's
super
is?
off. According to this, right? Am I wrong here?
Because I thought it was like
As a little
I
boy.
thought it was like
Backwards,
aces, but like slightly higher.
Yeah,
but this
what
might
was it?
be as of
Yeah.
maybe it goes up. I don't know.
No, I
This is
think
circa-
I'm just wrong
2018, right, or 2019.
When did
or
this come
whatever.
out? Yeah,
because I don't think he's gotten an
So-
update on that. To my knowledge.
no, I mean we haven't got an update on this game. This game has not been updated.
But I mean, like, if the game came out now, I think it would say the same bounty.
Probably.
I don't see a date, at least in Arabic numerals. All right, next one. This one's for Sam. This person was introduced in chapter 100. They are 8'5" and 55.
Is it They're introduced in chapter 100.
Yes.
It's got to be Dragon.
Yeah, that was an easy
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yep.
Look at
I'm
that.
surprised he's that. Oh, I guess it's not that much older. I guess I assume.
We still don't know his bounty. That is actually kind of crazy at the end of the day. But I guess he's the ceiling, so they don't want to.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Good job, Sam, who is very much in the lead. Mike. Chapter
I'll
1.
get this one.
This character was
Okay.
introduced in chapter 1. They are a very chapter 1 height. 6 foot, almost 6'3", actually. And 46 years old.
Lucky Roo.
That is incorrect.
Oh. Yeah, Higma the Bear.
That is correct. I'll give you half
Okay.
a point.
Cool.
So now you have 1 point.
Well, hey, where's my 5.3?
That's 0.053.
0.05. Okay, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I need all the help I can get.
You could keep it. You could keep it.
right, thank you.
Steven.
I didn't hear any of that.
That was Higuma the Bear. Sorry.
I got an extra
forgot
10
to-
points, Steven.
Look at that guy.
Damn.
Look at that. Everyone
That's
loves
crazy.
him. Everyone loves that guy.
How tall is he
Even-
again?
Even reverse. He is 6'3" almost, which is
Okay.
feels tall
Damn,
for that
he's
time,
short.
but he's less than Steve's height. Okay. Steven, speaking of. This character is also 6'3". Introduced in chapter 516 and 31 years old.
31 years old. Jesus.
516.
Yeah, 516. This sounds like it's gonna be like one of the worst generation or something. Do I think is it Basil Hawkins?
No. Anyone else?
Oh, what was the age you said?
Damn,
31.
activated Sam.
Is it Boa Hancock?
Correct. Sam is really good at this game. Kind of disconcerting.
Basil.
That's why I'm leaving the has no guilt caption there. Okay. There she is, if for anyone forgot. That's what she looks like if she were mirrored in the mirror. Next one. No, this is too easy. No, this is too easy. But oh, you know what I'll do? Sam, pick one stat you want from this person. No, there's no bounty. So that's not going to help you.
Wait, I'm picking one stat because it's going to be too easy if I get them all? Or?
Yeah, I think it will. So do you want age, height, or first appearance? I will give you
First
half a
appearance.
point if you get with more of those.
First appearance.
First appearance, chapter 134. Would you like another detail?
134. And it's going to be obvious with the other stats.
At least with one of them. But I'm not telling you which.
It's got to be like Doria Brogy or something.
No.
No?
Do you want one more stat?
Yeah, give me a
Sam?
stat. Give me a stat.
Pick one. Pick a stat. Any
Age.
stat. Age 141.
Kareha?
Yes.
Yes.
That was the one you wanted to get.
Mhm.
There she is, 141 years young.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's what she looks like. Mike.
All
can get
right,
this
I
one.
know this one.
You
I
can
know
get this one.
I already
You
know.
can. What is it?
I'll wait for you to give the clue for everybody.
Okay. That's nice of you.
We need some audience participation.
All right. Chapter 795 is their first appearance.
I know it well.
They are tall. Wait 1 second. That's all you get. They're tall.
I know it well.
23 feet, 3.5 inches. Nice normal size in one piece.
Wow, that's very tall.
59 years old. Who is it?
59 years old. Is it Katakuri? Sorry, is it Big Mom? Sorry, is it?
I'm shaking my head no, by the way.
It's Bullwinkle, right?
Yes, Bullwinkle has.
Yeah, I
This
knew it.
bounty
Who is it?
too.
From the East.
Should I give the? Does anyone here want to?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna get it. If you guys want to do, go ahead.
What was the chapter number?
795. Sam is just on
Introduced
fire.
in 795, and he's
It's probably Kaido.
or there.
What makes you say that, Mike?
Because I'm
59.
smart.
You weren't reading anything?
Because I'm smart and read the manga.
Read the chat.
I read the
manga?
manga.
It's
The
probably
manja.
Kaido, right?
It's Kaido.
Yeah, I knew it.
Now,
Manja,
Sam.
manja.
Bene, yeah. Sam, what is his bounty? Or as of this, at least.
His bounty was 4 billion 660 million
600 4 billion
610 million
600
610
yeah 600
and 100,000
million. 600
something like that.
4 billion 611 million 100,000.
That's it.
Now I will say, Kaido was my legitimate guess after Bullwinkle.
It was. Okay, I'm skipping Straw Hats for obvious reasons. Next one is for Steven. Introduced chapter 69.
Nice.
I was holding for that. 220 centimeters, which is 7 foot 2.5. Seems to be a very common height. 38 years old.
Is that Arlong?
No.
I suck at this. What the hell?
Sam is very good at this. Sam, do you want to try? At this point, you're running away with it, so we're really
You
just
said
playing for the sake of playing.
chapter 69, 7'2".
Yeah.
How old?
38.
It's hard,
Arlong
Steven,
was a
because
good
Sam and I
guess.
are really just so good at this.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Sam and
Rachel
Mike.
Buzzsaw. Yeah.
Yeah.
Krieg?
No.
No.
I'm waiting. I also want to see if anyone in the chat gets it.
What was the chapter?
69.
69.
You just want me to say
which
that?
is
No, I legitimately forgot.
Someone got it. Someone got it. Someone got
that
it.
is around the Arlong arc.
Hachi.
Okay,
Hachi. Okay.
he's a cool guy.
He is my age.
Worth 8 million berries.
Your age, my height. He's taking.
Okay, Mr. 7'3". You grew like 10 inches since you last said it was your height.
I had a growth spurt.
Speaking of Sam, this person was introduced in chapter 43. I don't know why I almost added an extra 4 there. 6 foot 2.5 and 67 years old.
6'2", introduced chapter 43. And is that Zeph?
It is. And that's without the hat, by the way. The hat adds another 6'3". Okay, this person's dead, so I can't do him. Next.
That's the necrophilia rules.
We could stop whenever because Sam has won. Like, I think it's like 7 to.
I don't know,
1
Zach.
to
I think
2.
I'm due. I'm due for one.
All right,
here.
Mike. Here's one for you. Why don't we just keep giving them to Mike until Mike?
I'm
gets it?
due for one. I'm due for
It's
one.
true. Chapter 1.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I like these odds.
6'6",
Okay.
39 years old.
I think that is Shanks.
You know what? You got it. It's the
Hey.
guy without the arm, and not his
All
twin
right.
brother who has both of them.
I can retire now.
Yeah, I think we can. Did we get any other questions while we were doing that? I think Greg left. Wait, let me see. Did Greg actually send in? He was trying to send in this piece, but I don't think he ended up doing it. No. Is that everything?
I thought we had more chat questions.
I think
back
we
at the start,
did.
but-
I just have to get back to them. Okay. What do we got? Oh, here we go. Reverse eye patch. If you could write in a color spread suggestion like Noda Skywalker, what would you want? That's a good question. I like that question. Also, while we're thinking of that, please donate to the Trevor Project. This is just something that we should always be saying, but I want to say the lines are open, but I don't think that's how online charity works. There's no telethon.
I would love to see Luffy hitting a home run off of Shohei Ohtani.
That is so specific and probably
And
happening this coming week.
the
Are you
Straw
just
Hats-
calling it?
The Straw Hats are beating the Dodgers 18-1.
Oh, is that what happened in the following game?
Yes.
That explains it.
My God.
That's why you don't play the Straw Hats in baseball. Sam, do you have like a color spread dream?
The Straw Hats are playing the One Piece trading card game.
Oh my God. This is why you're the sports expert.
Synergy. Yeah.
Mike. Do you have
They're all doing stunts like they're jumping out of planes, like Mission Impossible, and
That's a
then
good
as
one.
a message in the author comments that says, "I just saw Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, and it was okay."
It has nothing to do with anything. I think besides podcasting, which let's face it, boring to draw, you're looking at it. That's actually a really good one, Mike.
Thank you.
Yeah. You know, well, Oda, it wasn't a color spread, but he did do like Luffy on a radio show.
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
the,
that's like the
with
closest
boar.
we've gotten.
Yeah.
I don't know why like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea kind of hit me in the
Ooh.
just now, but like maybe them piloting a submarine would be fun, or Hunt for Red October. Get Sean
That'd be
Connery in
cool.
there somehow. He's the animal sidekick. Or even you could, if you're doing Sean Connery.
Zach, maybe one where they're all reading that week's chapter in the Lowe's parking lot.
That's the way. That is the way.
Good.
It's the only way to read it. Thank you, Mike, for doing this to me. There's a
sorry.
lot of good possibilities that we still haven't seen. And Ken is the one who suggested, a friend of the show, suggested the chess one. So it's doable.
Mhm.
Did you see any other questions, Steven? Because I think I'm at the end of...
Let's see. Yeah, we did the Keith David question. Andrew Dillon, do you think when Vivi rejoins the crew, Oda will find a natural way for her to show up, or because she's on a flying news ship, she'll show up when you least expect her? Can she show up in Elbaph?
Be like when Sabo made his big return. And we were all kind of like, we were all
Yeah.
simultaneously waiting for it, but like it didn't feel like that. There's room in the arc for it at that moment.
And
then
yet
boom.
there was. Yeah. That would be pretty cool. I mean, she is kind of at the whim of Morgan's right now, since they are stuck in the blimp. But I don't know. Yeah,
Stuck
I mean,
in the blimp, which could be anywhere in the world.
Yeah. I mean, like he could
Yeah.
decide, like, hey, something crazy, like the whole world was hanging on what was happening in Egghead. So maybe if it turns into a protracted situation at Elbaph,
What's
maybe-
stopping Morgan's from just like flying to Laughtail?
Does he know where it is?
Yeah, that's probably the big thing.
Yeah, I think that might be
Fly
the
to
issue.
the Lodestar Island.
And also, you could. I'm sure there are ships that could just fly. That's
Just
not the
go
issue.
go in that general direction and just kind of eyeball it.
Okay, Sam. I think that's it.
I think Vivi could overpower Morgan if she needed to. So if there's any need to like get her there, I don't see a reason why they couldn't just do it. Like narratively, I mean.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think that's it. I forgot to play the Piece Together music earlier. I can't do it now though. It's too late to do that. Or maybe I can. Wow, we're so white. That's been it for the Piece Together segment. Let's round off. This has been the One Piece Podcast, episode 875 for July 6th, 2025. Thank you all so much for coming on. And thank you, everyone watching out there in the real world of YouTube and elsewhere. You could always find our episodes. They're not live, but they always post on YouTube every Monday. In full. Check them out. YouTube.com/One Piece Podcast. As we mentioned before, you should subscribe on Patreon right now at patreon.com/One Piece Podcast. And join now for the sticker with your favorite, I forget what Josh called him, but your favorite Loki. And on the side of the crew. Yeah, is that Blorbo? Maybe it was Blorbo. Pick that up now. And by that I mean subscribe, get into that category as soon as we open it, which should be pretty soon, and you get this sticker first thing in. It's just $12 a month. Very excited to start that big gigantic thanks to Vero for getting that off the ground. If you haven't, also check out, hey, Stephen and I could still be on the screen. Check out The End of One Piece by Greg, who made a brief appearance here. I don't know if he's still here, but if you haven't, please check out the treatise from our very own Greg Werner, talking all about the end of One Piece. Believe it or not, that's what it's about. If you like these shows, please let us know. If you like us doing more live shows generally, we may listen to your suggestion and do more. We may not. It really depends on how we're feeling that particular day. Stephen, where can people find you and your work?
I am over there on Blue Sky at stephenpaul.bsky.social. Other than that, it's just check out the usual series that I work on: One Piece, Akane Banashi, Shoha Shoten, and Trillion Game. Those are all on either Shonen Jump or Viz manga apps. So go and check them out.
Where did Simba go?
He was fussing. He decided he was done hanging out in the office, so I let him out.
Hey, Mike, where can people find you?
You could follow me on Blue Sky. I'm there at patentpending.bsky.social. I made a really good post once, and I don't know if I'll do another one, but I did a really good one once. I would rather you follow me on Instagram at patent_pending. That's where I put all my art, along with all the covers for Domance Dawn, the podcast I do art for. And occasionally I'll post storyboards from shows I've worked on there. So check it out.
Sam Leach, where can people find you?
They can find me on Blue Sky at LC Sam.
Anywhere else?
Twitter, Lucky Chainsaw.
Okay. You can find us at the One Piece Podcast at onepiecePodcast.com. You could subscribe, rate, and review anywhere you get your podcasts. You can follow us on Patreon, as I mentioned a few times, patreon.com/One Piece Podcast. Please donate to the Trevor Project. There's a lot of really great causes that Mike and I in particular were talking about. We're hoping to do a more substantial fundraising charitable effort in the future. I'll just leave that as Mike. I don't know how.
I will keep you all posted on that. The plan is for sometime in the fall. I am trying to put together a telethon of sorts to raise money for some different causes, and more info on that as it builds. Thank you.
Yeah, but I figure always good to tell people about important causes that they should know about. And we'll be back next week with I believe our special guests will be Miles Thomas and Jeff Through from Quest for the Best, that podcast, which I've been listening to more regularly now. It's very good. It's gotten me back into the Baccano train, and I mean that literally. Which it's been many years since I've watched that. And very excited for that. We have some really good guests coming up over the next few weeks, so keep an eye out. Want to give another huge thanks to everyone out there on Patreon on Patreon and also on YouTube is what I meant to say, for watching us here tonight and sticking around for the last, how many hours have we been doing?
2 hours.
2 hours, 1 minute, 55 seconds. Thank you all so much for coming on the show. We'll see you next week with our regularly scheduled episode and our regularly scheduled chapter. My name is Zach. You guys could say who you are. Steven?
My name is Steven.
Who are you, Mike?
I'm Mike. My name is Mike.
Sam?
Konnichiwa.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
So we're drawing a Hydra of Satiris. Right? Okay,
It's
goodbye.
it's like a blooming onion.
Yeah. Thank you all for watching. And hope to do another one of these again in the future. Goodbye, everyone.